All right. Maybe a more random time to film, but no time like the present. So I first want to say thank you to everybody who watched the video and commented and just sent me so much love around how difficult that was, because it was difficult. I was nervous. And I'm pretty sure that the nerves will calm down as I get further into this. But the comments and the love and everything that came from the video truly did like make me feel better about everything. I also, that same night I made the video, left an entire clip out. So this is going to tie into that, but it just talks about some of the struggles that I've experienced as a runner while taking Zepbound and some of the challenges that I've had this far. So I'm just going to tie in a few more of like a couple of different things that I've had struggles with or that I've noticed that have become like a thing for me since starting the medication. I do have a list, but I don't have the list with me, so we're going to wing it. I want to give you full transparency. I'm in an In-N-Out drive-through getting a cheeseburger. I skip the fries now because I never eat them, and they're usually cold by the time I get done with the burger anyways. So one of the things on my list is food aversions. That to me means that I just cannot, or there'll be certain things that I'll just be eating and then all of a sudden I don't want it anymore. But it's so strange to have that happen. For example, last night, nothing sounded good and I had already done pretty well with my protein throughout the day and that kind of thing. And I made a bowl of noodles and the noodles were fine. And I took 2 bites and I could not eat them anymore. It was like immediately they were gross to me. So that happens. So food aversions. There's certain foods that I liked before that I just can't even mess with anymore, or they don't taste the same to me. Some people will label this as like not being able to enjoy food and da da da, and it's like, you can call it whatever you want. I call it a food aversion. I think it's weird. I think it's crazy that happens. I've also had like the opposite thing happen where I feel like I'm like obsessed with certain foods. Anybody who knows me knows that I love a Chipotle taco. I have eaten Chipotle tacos more times in the last 3 months than I probably should have. But it's an easy source of protein. There's vegetable, carb, and voila, a decent meal. But the other things on the list are, one of them is being cold all the time. And I don't know if that's the medication or if that's the weight loss, but I'm pretty sure it's the weight loss. But I am cold all the time. My mom was laughing the other day. She walked in. It was last night. I put on a hoodie while I was cooking my noodles because it was so friggin' cold. But being cold is a thing. And I don't know if, like I said, that's the weight loss or if that's the medication, but I'm always cold. Not right now though. It's pretty hot here where I'm at. But I'm trying to remember the other things on the list. So food aversions, being cold. I may have to come back to this. But I wanted to try and piece together something that I can tie in with the other video. Some of the challenges that I talk about are when I run, how it's challenging to eat. It's challenging without medication when you're trying to fuel your body with like regular food and not just like gels when you're running. So that has been a challenge for me. I guess I'll have to come back to the rest of it. Maybe I'll tie it in at the end of the video. So this will be the beginning. So thank you again to everybody who has subscribed so far, who's interested in seeing more. I'm sure as the video and the content goes on that they'll get a little bit better. The few in the beginning are probably going to be a little bumpy. So bear with me. Give me all the suggestions and advice. I'm here for it. Editing was not as hard as I thought it would be, but it's still a challenge. I'm going to try it from my phone this time and see if I can do any better. And then, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I am open to suggestions on videos that I should make or things that come up. I've had a couple of people tell me they're more interested in my journey with the gastric sleeve surgery. And so I can go back. I have all kinds of like food logs and the experience that I had with that and all of the appointments leading up to it, where I was, where it ended. So maybe I'll dive further into that and do a whole video about a gastric sleeve surgery. It was an adventure. It's still crazy to think that I have like a partial stomach and that I went through that, but I did. It happened. So yeah, I'm open for suggestions. And yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, the main thing was like, I need to tell the truth. Like, I haven't been lying. But if, people ask me, well, what have you been doing? Like, oh, watching my portions, making sure I'm not snacking at night. Like, I tell them what I'm doing. I did not tell them that I had gastric sleeve surgery in 2019 and I feel like I failed myself and now I'm on a GLP-1. I don't give them all the details. I didn't feel like I needed to explain anything to anybody. I still don't. But I also feel like there's a lot of people who can benefit from knowing that you can be an athlete and you can use the tools too, and you can be successful. There are some struggles that come along with it. Running in itself is great. Like, I know people get tired and all that stuff on the medication, which does happen. I get tired. I'm a mom. I work full time. I do all the things. But I don't think that the tired part of it is my issue. It's that when I go to train for these endurance events, like I have a 100-miler in October. I just came off training for another super long race, which I didn't end up doing it. I was training for 100K and I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. Pretty much because, like, when I'm running long distance, when I say long distance, I'm talking about anything over a marathon, or ultra running, right? Trail running. Some of you know, some of you don't. I can explain if you don't. But I won't go too far down that rabbit hole. But anything over 20 miles for me is hard to fuel. Typically, you eat food when you're running that far. You don't just use gels and water and electrolytes. Like, you need to eat food. And basically what happens is you eat the food and your body digests it and turns it into fuel. Since I'm on a GLP-1, my body will not digest the food fast enough in order for me to keep running efficiently and not feel like trash. So I've been navigating that, and it's been a challenge. And it's been really hard to explain to people I run with because they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I just feel like shit, but it's not always like that. The short runs aren't bad. I can maintain. I do better with liquid calories, like a gel or something like a gummy, that kind of thing. But that has been a challenge for me to navigate with going longer distance. So I'm still trying to balance that out. If you have tips or tricks, or you're, I don't know. I don't know any endurance athletes who are on a GLP-1. So if you're out there, send me your advice. I've talked to my doctor about it. I have a doctor through Sutter Medical, and my doctor is great. I do all my blood work. My blood work is completely normal, and I'm 100% healthy. Everything that I'm doing is where it's supposed to be as far as that goes. But I'm still trying to dial in my nutrition. It's been different. Obviously, I've lost a lot of weight, so the food that I wanted before, I don't want anymore. When you're on a GLP-1, there's food, you'll take a bite and you won't want it anymore. Or you'll look at it and you'll be like, nope, not gonna eat it. I can't eat it. And you're not hungry. And so when I plan my shots, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I take my shot earlier in the week. So later in the week when I go to do my long run, I have a little bit more hunger. But even sometimes then, I'm not hungry. But when you're out there, you got to eat. So anyway, I have to balance all that out, and I'm still working on it. It's not the purpose of this video to go down that. I'll make another video about it later on. But yeah, if you're somebody who's afraid to open up about using weight loss tools, I guess this is me telling you that you can do it. I have contemplated making a video or going public with my information on this for a long time. It's very scary for me. The internet is mean, so I'm asking you to please be kind. I hope that my courage and story will motivate somebody. Or if you've been on the fence about getting help to manage your weight, whether you're 400 pounds, 250, 200, whatever your goal is, if you're able to get some help, get it. Use the tools, whatever they might look like for you. They look different for everybody. It may not be Zepbound. It may not be a GLP-1. It may not be surgery. But there's tools out there, and you can use them, and they work. But you also have to do the work. I can't stand when people are like, oh, well, I don't have to do anything. It's like, well, that's not going to, in my opinion, I don't think you're going to be able to maintain. I'm not a doctor, but I've been throwing around 30 pounds for my whole entire life. And this is the first time that I found something that works for me that has actually worked. And yeah, it made it a hell of a lot easier. But I could show you my running, and I and I'm consistent. The strength training, I do it at least at minimum once a week, if not twice. I'm working on getting to twice. I haven't made it there yet. But I know the importance of muscle. I'm not even going to go into like the food thing. I'll do it in another video. But anybody who knows me, they know my protein is important. Like I prioritize that. Okay, now that we've made it toward the end, I guess the middle of the end, we're going to do a little bit of a card chat since I got the rest of my list back. So the rest of the things that I wanted to talk about as far as things that I've dealt with that were kind of unexpected and a little bit challenging to deal with would be, I already talked about being cold, food aversions, and a couple of the other ones are kind of interesting. The two of them tie together. So dry mouth, the day after shot day, or even like during the night, I'll wake up and I'll be extremely thirsty. So that one's kind of like more of a symptom, of the medication itself, but it ties into the other one of not being thirsty. So while the medication does a great job at helping you not like snack and eat junk food, it also will take your, I guess like you're wanting to drink away. I'm not talking about alcohol or nothing of the sort. I am talking about just drinking water in general. You are not thirsty. You have to make sure you remind yourself to drink or that you have water in front of you. I have water with me almost all the time. Like I find like big jugs, little jugs, anything that you can find. But it will cause you to not be thirsty, which obviously with running is an issue. Not only while I'm out there and exercising, but I need to make sure I'm staying hydrated any other time of the day too. Even when I'm not running, it's still very important. So that one has been a big one for me. I've gotten like different tumblers and different cups to try and, make it where it's more appealing to drink water, but that one is a tough one. But none of them have gotten to the point to where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm dehydrated or, like I have to go to the hospital, like nothing like that. These are all just things that I've become way more aware of, since taking the medication and things that I've had challenges with. And just because it happens to me doesn't mean it'll happen to the next person. And then like the only other, weird thing that has happened, and I know there's another person on this journey who will completely resonate with this, but is the amount of noise that comes from your stomach is absolutely crazy. Like your tummy will growl when you're hungry, but when you're on a GLP-1, your stomach will scream at you. It is so loud. I've been in meetings at work and my stomach's like, it's like, I swear I'm okay. It's just my stomach trying to have a full-fledged conversation in the middle of a meeting. So those are just some of the things that I've experienced this far. Nothing crazy, other little symptoms and stuff, but nothing wild. Like I've never had to a lot of people take like a Miralax or things to help them go to the bathroom due to constipation. Have I been constipated while on the medication? Maybe once or twice, like really bad, but outside of that, no, I've been fortunate enough to not have to like drink Miralax or take a fiber supplement. Like I add fiber into my diet to help regulate my gut for the most part, but there's been a few times where, sorry, my leg is really itchy. I got attacked by mosquitoes the other night, but there's been a few times where I had to add in fiber, like extra fiber to my diet, to just make things be a little bit more comfortable. But that was just when I experienced it the first time, but it hasn't really kept on. One thing I do love are my balloon greens, my super greens. Those I feel help me stay regular and not have to worry about it. But staying hydrated will pretty much take care of that for itself. If you are able to get enough water and make sure you're doing the things, you won't really get constipated. But you also have to eat. Um, so you have to eat in order to be able to go to the bathroom. There's nothing there if you don't eat. But yeah, those are some of the things. That's how it's impacted my running thus far. These are some of the challenges. But even with all of that being said, it wouldn't change a thing. I would still take the medication on top of experiencing those things because they're all very manageable for me. But I just wanted to put a few things together to pieced together, rather, the other video that I left out. So this one's going to be kind of all over the place. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like the video, leave me a yellow heart, leave me a comment, give me the suggestions, all the things. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hopefully you can see me because the camera looks crazy, but yeah, I appreciate you for watching. Thanks for coming on the journey with me. Thank you again for all of the love, the support, the encouragement, the kudos for being brave and just putting this out there. It's really outside of my comfort zone for me. So I appreciate all of you so much, and stay tuned for more.